the action never really stops. One live stream done, we're back on the next, and this time with the most random of interruptions because lightning is quite literally struck.
Yep. Play suspended, play halted, not due to rain. Play halted due to lightning strikes. Yes. The scorecard that was there at Lauderhill, it flashed a message that lightning is in the area. So please suspend play at this time. It is for safety reasons that the players are off the field now. Now remember, since Boral and if you look at it, the central Florida region, it is quite open and it is prone to lightning strikes at this time. So if an advisory has been given, the players will have to adhere to it. So yes, lightning has struck in Florida, but I think the lightning strikes might more be directed at the Indian cricket team because West Indies are absolutely cruising in their chase.
It's been raining 4s and 6s.
With Nicholas Pooran and Brandon King absolutely decimating the Indian bowlers. At this point, DLS, if it comes into play, West Indies are well ahead of the DLS score at
Exactly, because I think they needed to be, I don't know what exactly the thing was, but don't forget they've only lost 1 wicket. Which means that if you lose 1 wicket, of course, the number of runs required for you to be at par with or ahead of the DLS score shoots up significantly more. This time, in fact, they are well ahead and only have lost 1 wicket. So at this point, it doesn't really matter.
It has been simply sensational batting from the likes of Nicholas Pooran and Brandon King. I mean, when 5 overs were, when the power play itself was done, 6 overs, 61 for 1, you knew that India was staring at a massive problem, and this is the reason why now West Indies at 117 for 1.
Yeah, as Satish Bhai points out, 93 is probably where they needed to be.
93, and you are ahead by 24 runs. So that is why now situation is becoming really problem as per the DLS method is concerned. But remember, there have already been 2 rain delays. We might not start losing overs. Remember, if it's another 30 minutes, we may start losing overs at this time. So that is why it is going to be a major problem. And Mr. Fact was asking me whether this was the first time that lightning has suspended play. Actually, if you look at the 2016 match between India and West Indies, initially the players went off because of a lightning strike, but then it started to pour. Then for 25 minutes it poured, but because the ground was not equipped with the proper drainage facilities at that time in 2016, play had to be called off. And it was so agonizing because India were just 4 balls away from ensuring that the match could happen, but it didn't. So that is why it's a big problem at this time. But yeah, if the situation remains and the West Indies are declared winners, serious questions will have to be asked about Hardik Pandya's decision to bat. Because there was no peculiar, you may say, tangible evidence that batting first on this particular wicket would have reaped new numbers.
Yeah, in fact, quite the contrary. The last match you won by chasing.
And let me just analyze one more statement of Hardik Pandya. What did he say? Oh, we want to test ourselves. But was this the right time to test?
I was writing that only.
Oh my God. Yeah. That is the thing. I mean, this will become a major talking point, and what Harshad is going to highlight in the next coming hours or so, when you can see it on TV, on social media, Hardik Pandya's decision. We want to test ourselves when you're 2-2 level in the last decider. Why?
Why would you be testing yourselves? Are you going to say that T20Is, the series now doesn't have any relevance, but it does have plenty of relevance because you're trying to build a new team?
No, and I think the Indian cricket team are having a delusion that they're scientists who want to create Eureka-like experiments. It just doesn't work.
You want to create the perfect Frankenstein's monster?
You have to have the right formula. At this point in time, the Indian team just does not have a formula. And remember, batting first has been a major Achilles heel for India. Just look at the 2022 T20 World Cup semi-final.
Not just that, even before, India have been master chasers. But not when it comes to setting targets. We've never been good. And even today, you saw that there was just too much fear in the batting. At times, you weren't aggressive enough. And then when you ended up losing plenty of key wickets, too many key wickets at crucial times, they just had to hang in there and hope to get what would be a competitive total rather than a winning total.
Now, again, questions will be asked about that collapse of 6 for 35. I'm sorry, towards the fag end. You cannot lose so many wickets and hope that your bowlers will bail you out. today, the start that Brandon King and Nicholas Puran gave you, and remember, the initial onslaught that they had, you were doing it because the rain was in the air.
Exactly. They knew full well that there was every chance there would be another rain interruption. So they went hammer and tongs, despite the fact that they lost Kyle Mayers early because they wanted to be ahead of that curve. 5 overs is the bare minimum. You need to actually have a complete game. So once it was 5 overs, they were ahead, and they have stayed ahead ever since. In fact, they are ahead considerably because they needed to be at 93 at this point in time, and they're what,
117 for 1. They are ahead. 49 runs of 45 balls. But the latest news we are getting at this point is it will not be a long delay.
Again.
Shouldn't be a long. This is the third consecutive no long delay. We had 3 short delays. I think either you rain down in a big way and ensure the match is abandoned, or just
don't rain at all. Yeah, what is this? This is so terrible. I mean, it's bad for fans. It's bad for, pretty much even it's bad for fans. It's bad for us, really.
Exactly.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. But anyway, it does seem like...
What was the strategy that the West Indies employed? They played out Kuldeep Yadav. 4 overs, none for 18.
And they can afford to do that. They're only chasing 160 odd. It's not a big total on a track that quite clearly, despite actually assisting spinners a bit, it's not a tough track. It's not a challenging track.
So there is just one particular problem. Kuldeep played out. The rest of the bowlers have been very pedestrian. Hardik Pandya, first over 14. Okay, I kind of blundered with my decision. Let me now bowl the first over.
No, to be fair, I think he's best either if he has to bowl his 2 overs, they need to be in the power play or not at all. Because you remember what happened in the last game. He came out to bowl in the middle, got tonked for 14 runs, and then had to take himself out of the attack.
Again, he got hit for 14 runs, but he continued this time. So that is the problem. So India, they are staring at a loss. If this break gives them that momentum that is needed, and if India can really take some wickets, they would have had the greatest escape.
I don't think that's going to happen because, again, I think you have Puran and Brandon King. Both are pretty seasoned campaigners in that regard.
And then you have some experienced anchors in the form of Roston Chase and Shea Hope.
Exactly. So they don't really need to be playing anything extraordinary. At this point, it's practically down to run a ball almost.
Yep.
So I don't think it really matters how they play at this point. I think they'll just keep playing their shots and they'll win by 6-7 wickets. That's the result you're staring at once again in a decider.
Yep. But it is but remember, the covers are on at this time still, but it is only for a precaution. There is no rain, but because lightning strikes are happening.
If lightning strikes the pitch, then what?
I think there was one video which when lightning struck a football pitch, and I think the players have absolutely had a serious injury in that sense.
It can happen. So.
Yep. So that is why there is no rain inside, but at this point now, we are still awaiting clearances as to what might happen here. So West Indies are 117 for 1, 49 runs needed of 45. If play is called off, they are 26 runs ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis method. They should have been 91 at this stage, but they are 107.
Supposed to be 93.
93? Yeah. Because somewhere I read it was 91.
Oh, so even if it's 91, either which way, they're well ahead of the, DLS score calculation. So that's good there.
Exactly. So let's see. With Brandon King 54 of 38, 4 fours and 3 sixes. Nicholas Puran, 46 of 32, 1 4, 4 sixes. Man, that guy is...
He's been, I think ever since the MLC, he's been batting on another planet.
I mean, remember, West Indies won that Guyana game because of his onslaught.
Yeah.
The rest of the others really struggled on that wicket. So, Puran is in a different league altogether. And Yajuvendra Chahal, man, 2.3 overs, none for 33. Big problems.
Yeah.
Really big problems. Only Kuldeep has been your shining light in this entire series. But Chahal, if he doesn't do well, I'm sorry. I think
he's looking at missing another World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
Because again, Kuldeep was already the firm favourite coming in because he did well in the white ball series prior to the IPL and has done well in all the series since the IPL. So
Kuldeep, I mean, if you look at it, Chahal, he bowled brilliantly but still didn't make the World Cup. Here he's bowled poorly. What chance will he have of making the World Cup? With the Indian cricket team, maybe it might be reverse psychology.
I doubt.
So that is the situation. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. Let's hope that the rain clears off or the lightning strikes clear off, and let's see if we can get uninterrupted action. Please, it's already 11:38 p.m. IST. We should have finished by this time.
We should have.
No. 40 minutes.
So
extension.
many unnecessary interruptions.
Yeah, not unnecessary. I mean safety.
No, unnecessary in the sense I'm not blaming
The lightning. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm blaming the lightning. Bad lightning.
All your questions, Rookie Techie, Akash, Bhagat, whatever it is, we'll have a bigger discussion in the post match. Join us for that. Until then, from me and Shane, it's bye bye. See you, Nandri.